Hello, I'm here in Dundalk. We're having a peaceful assembly. It hasn't really started yet. Everybody's getting ready. We're going to have a few speeches. All the placards here have been donated by Niall McConnell, Sheila Hearn, Keep Ireland Irish, Gail not for sale. Ireland is full, put the Irish first, Gail not for sale.
Hello folks, well I think we better rock it off now because the Armagh game does kick off at 4 and we want to be there to cheer them on. Welcome everyone to Dundalk Says No. Hopefully the town will wake up and we'll get more out in future, because honestly, if Dundalk do not stand up, this corrupt, horrific government and these evil multi-millionaires and globalists will walk all over this town, so they will. Thank you. I'm just going to read out a quick little statement from the boys and girls in Dundalk Says No. Welcome to our demonstration against the mass migration into our country. We will be organising a public meeting in the next 2 weeks. We're looking at actual inside venues. Hopefully we will get someplace that will accommodate us. Because the people organising these genocides all around the world right now, they are the same globalists who are destroying our country with uncontrolled migration and very, very easy citizenship, far too easy. Now, as we know, County Louth is being hit with iPass after iPass. It's almost unstoppable. You look left, you look right. There's another section 5 in. There's another section 20 in. It's just, it's crazy. It's detrimental. These people are the immigration coming into this country. It's unrestricted. It's uncontrolled. It's undocumented, and it's unvetted. Now there are good foreigners coming in. The foreigners in Dundalk who are actually scared of the people who are coming in. I have a message from a Muslim man who is worried about all the Somalians who are now coming from England, and they're coming here purely for the high benefits. Child benefit is very high in Ireland. And this Muslim man who just lives down the road, he says these people are dangerous, and he is worried. And this is it. And the good migrants are being then stereotyped by these rapey, murdering, crime committing people who are coming into our country. Now I have a wee story about a town in Spain. A small town called Marsella in Spain. It's in the Navarro region. It has a population of less than 2,700 people. And the authorities there decided to open a hostel for undocumented migrants in that town. Immediately, the crimes, the robberies, the stabbings started happening. The women and children were too afraid to go outside. So the men got up and the men rose up, and there was fighting, there was clashing, it was a bit of a war zone. This little village had never seen anything like it. And then what happened? The fighting subsided and the people went along to protest for the closure of this migrant centre. The guards then turned up. The guards weren't there when the people were being attacked. The migrants were organising themselves into gangs and attacking locals in broad daylight in the middle of the town centre. The people said enough is enough, that's it. And so the minute the people rose up, the guards turned around, and the guards were there to protect the migrants, so they were. And all the left-wing media in Spain is now calling all those people racists. It's not racist, it's self-preservation. And we're being called racist to try to stop us from having a sense of self-preservation, and that's all it is. Ireland, we face being a minority by 2040, maybe even quicker, if things carry on like this. Our government is corrupt, they are not sovereign, and the UN is directing all of this. The UN is directing the horrific sex education in our school, and it's part of the UN 17 sustainable goals that mass immigration, uncontrolled immigration has to happen, or they will not be able to achieve their 17 sustainable goals. So we're being called racist for this, we're being called racist for that. Sarah Holland from Sinn Féin turned around the other day. Apparently, traditional Catholics and people who pray the rosary outside, you're all fascists. So every one of you who went to Mass this morning, prayed for peace in the world, prayed for your family, and prayed to our Lord above, ye are all fascists. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm absolutely disgusted. And that's a Sinn Féin, I don't know if she's a councillor or a TD, Sarah Holland. Shame on her. Shame. I'm busy, Pet. Sorry, no, not now, honey. Sorry, not now. There was a job fair recently in Dublin. We all know about that. The job fair that was open only to migrants. No Irish people invited. Not one. Migrants only. Also there, I seen a wee advertisement from Transport for London for jobs. And it says there, for an internship, you must be of black, Asian and minority ethnic background, defined as having some African, Afro-Caribbean, Asian or other non-white heritage. That's racism. Our government is racist. It's not us people, we are not racist. We are just trying to protect our country, protect our safety. Because you cannot just take 1 million people into your country over the space of a few years and think things are going to be fine, because it's not, because your doctor's wait has gone from 1 week to 2 weeks. So they carry on. Everything's getting rationed. All our services and our infrastructure can't cope. So you'll go from 2 weeks wait to a doctor to 4 weeks wait for a doctor. See, you cannot you cannot artificially inflate a population without putting in position the services that you're going to need. You need more police, you need more doctors, more nurses, more teachers, more schools, more hospitals. So look how long it's taken to build that hospital in Dublin. It's an absolute disgrace. But the most important thing, folks, is the government are insane. They are absolutely insane, and they are actively being racist against our own people. Our Gardaí are being compromised as well. I'm sure that they can't say it. I wish the Gardaí had stood up when they did put through the 99% no confidence in Drew Harris. Drew Harris is an MI5 agent, folks. He's sworn oath to the Queen, and yet Mary Lou stands there beside him as if he's the best thing going. You know, honestly, the Gardaí are being forced to use power that they don't want. The Gardaí are guardians of the peace. They were never made as a police force to attack. They're there to protect our people, protect everything in our country, not to attack us. So, you know, they are being forced to commit, well, crimes against Irish people that they don't really want to. We've seen what happened in many Newtown, Mount Kennedy and many places, but we feel that the Gardaí have been compromised by Drew Harris, who is not here. He is not here on behalf of the Irish people. And shame on Mary Lou for standing next to him and approving it, because that's giving it the consent. That's giving it, yeah, we're fine by this. Absolutely terrible. Now, folks, we know the damage that's happening. We only have to look at Sweden. I just told you about that little village in Spain. We have Sweden now. Rapes have doubled from 5,920 in 2014 to over 10,000 in 2024. In England and Wales, rape has increased fourfold in 10 years. The rapes in England and Wales were 16,374 in 2012, and by 2022, that had risen to 68,762. That is over 4 times as many as what was happening in Sweden, in England and Wales 10 years ago. We had the sad news just up the road, it's not too far away, in Downpatrick on Tuesday morning. This is unprecedented. This has never happened in our country. A 13-year-old autistic girl was attacked on her way to school at 8:30 in the morning, and it has been confirmed. It's one of the new Irish who did this. This is my daughter. My daughter goes to get a bus at 7:30 in the morning, and in the winter it's pitch black. You know, we cannot let our future. We cannot let our children. I'm not prepared to let my daughter be the next rape victim, and I don't think any of you are either. We deserve far, far, far much better. Like I say, there are good migrants. There are bad migrants. There is no vetting process, and everyone is being allowed into the country. Ireland is not a dustbin.
2 Irish travellers.
Where was
2
this?
girls. It was in there Wednesday.
I got a little message here that was sent in, and this is from a grandmother in Dundalk, and she says that Hitler's top men, they were all put on trial for all the crimes that happened back in World War II.
Yeah, he was a foreigner, yeah.
These evil men should be brought to account for the crimes against children and women. And the men she's talking about are Niall Martin and Simon Harris. They're running Ireland into the ground. If any more children are being murdered and raped, take Simon Harris and Roderick and Micheál Roderick, who invited them all in with his famous text in 8 languages. How dare he? That is treason.
A new type of crime.
They should all be taken to court for bringing rapists and murderers into Ireland. It is on their doorstep. You do not defecate on your own doorstep. Irish people must all stand together against these evil men. We have been told, I got a message which I believe was from a solicitor from the 3 men who want to turn the 99 and 100 Bridge Street into an iPass, and I was told that they were calling it off, but they might well just look at a small crowd and think, look at that. Dundalk aren't coming out to support these people. We can just do whatever we want. So I ask you folks to talk. It is not racist to love your country. Talk to your friends. You know, we are a welcoming country, and we are losing our famous Céad Míle Fáilte.
This is he's talking about
Bridge Street.
I spoke to a man there earlier, he's in the audience. He can't get housing. He's been waiting years and years and years. And he just feels that he's becoming bitter and twisted inside against everything.
About how many?
This is how you create racism in the country. You bring
all the black people sitting on the
untold
window ledges,
people in without consulting the people before. We were never consulted. They're signing us up for all sorts that we never agreed into. They've signed up to this latest European migration pact when there was absolutely no need for them to sign up for that at all. Denmark refused it. And our government should, because they're endangering the safety of everyone, you, me, and the decent, hard-working migrants who have come in and are adding to this country, the people who aren't here to take over, the people who aren't here to change our way of life. My own child is half Indian. You know, but people will call me racist. It's just ridiculous. The last thing that I am, but it's a self-preservation and a love of our country. And believe me, nationalism is a beautiful thing. A love of your country, it is the most beautiful thing in the world. It really is. It's a pride, it's a strength. It's just everything, okay? And I love this country, and that's only why I'm standing here. I'm just a mother. I just got a sense of justice.
Niall McConnell's banner, he donated. Ireland is full.
It's been sold away. Now, I read a poem yesterday down in Drogheda, and that poem was written.
All the flags were donated by Niall McConnell, Síl Nahéireann.
And in the second part of it, it says, More Monere.
If you want to become a member, go on his website, YouTube, Síl Nahéireann, Niall McConnell. scroll down to the bottom and you can chip in, donate for the flags, newspapers, banners for these peaceful assemblies.
Feeling a bit poetic yesterday.
You can become a member in any country around the world. Just scroll down underneath YouTube, underneath his video.
When we have sold enough of Ireland to free but strangers in it. So it is not me.
It's a nice day here today.
And it's not Dundalk says no to saying that. People have been.
Hi John, you made it. How are you?
Didn't get a chance to talk to you.
Say hello to Niall.
Hi Niall, how you doing? What's the story, man? All good?
You see all the flags he donated?
Yeah, well, like with Niall, all the flags have been brought on. Give us a bit of a scan around there, see all the flags,
I know.
banners, and of course our Ireland is full flag, which again has been donated by Niall McConnell.
Yes,
And,
all the placards.
Yeah, all the placards, everything else.
And his newspapers.
Yeah, newspapers, placards. There was some here. I think they're all got. Actually, I think newspapers are gone out. I think there's a good few given out yesterday as well up in Drogheda. You know, so. It's just a shame. Where is all the people?
Yeah.
Why is the people?
Well, isn't there a football match on?
There's a football match
That's
on.
why.
Look at,
they all get distracted.
They're all going back to the GAA again. You know?
Oh yeah.
Look at,
I know. But there is a good crowd.
That's a good crowd. It'll gather momentum. We're walking through the town and all that goes to that. So
Are we? We're marching. Okay.
So it'll all be good. And again, once again, go on to Niall there. See the stuff he's putting out. Donate, help the man out. All this stuff costs money, so there you go. And we'll have a good day. We'll wake the people up eventually as we go along.
Are you speaking today?
Pardon?
Are you speaking today?
I think I may be.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much.
As the separate individual is to the family, so the separate nation is to humanity. The perfect family is that which best draws out the inner powers of the individual. The most perfect word in that in which the separate existence of nations is held most sacred. Thank you. We have a few speakers here, folks. Thank you very much. Alan from Fagan from Drogheda is going to come
We've
and
got
give us
Rita,
a few
she's a
words.
team member. She's going to hand out Niall McConnell's newspaper.
Far more iPads than Dundalk. Drogheda is being tortured.
The first national newspaper in Ireland, and they're issued every month, a different issue every month. And Rita, our team member, is going to help hand them out.
There's at least 5 Section 5s in place with permission in Drogheda at the moment. And there's a few individuals behind it. Now there's a businessman called Vincent Black who owns 2 pubs in the town and a restaurant. He's a millionaire. He made his money off the backs of the working class people of Drogheda who would have used his premises for different family occasions. Now he's in his mid-70s and I just can't get to grips with why a man in his mid-70s would start going into the human trafficking business. Because let's face it, that's what it is. It's about putting bodies into rooms and getting government money for it. And it's run by NGOs.
Niall McConnell, Sheila Hearn,
in this country,
Irish national newspapers.
They have offices all over Europe. Now the problem being 60% of all NGOs in Ireland, all 34,000 of them, 60% of those are lobbying groups. They go and they kind of propose government policy and the government run with it. Because they're doing the dirty work for the government, which is
Niall
the government
McConnell,
themselves.
Sheila Hearn.
So the laws can be broken in this country if you're an NGO.
Yeah, you got yours yesterday in RD.
The government use what are called as non-government.
Hi Joseph, how are you?
What they really are is branches.
Get your newspaper? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't let it blow away.
They're 2 cheeks of the same arse, if you like.
I'll talk to you later.
There's no difference, and the same with the politicians that's in the Dáil. I never realised politics was a dirty game until I went into it. I ran in 2 elections. And in the first election I ran in was the locals last year.
This is in Dundalk.
In Drogheda, urban.
We're in
And
Dundalk at the square.
what happened was, when I ran in the election, I was
Alan
invited
Fagan
onto
is
the radio
speaking.
on the 27th of May, along with 3 other candidates. Now, as far as I was concerned, I was invited onto that radio to lay out my political stall and tell people why they should vote for me. But instead, I got a character assassination from Michael Reid, who I can't say rest in peace because he's still currently being dissected. He sold his body for medical science. So he prostituted himself right to the end and then and beyond. So I have no sympathy for the man. Karma came and paid him a visit. He promoted vaccines. He encouraged everyone to get their boosters, and it was the booster that gave him the turbo cancer that took him. And thank God for it. You know, and that might be a cruel thing to say, but he was a traitor, is right. He wanted to create a narrative.
We just handed out Niall McConnell's Irish Patriot
Instead
newspapers.
of looking at me like a man that had turned his life around over many, many years of being in addiction, of having a criminal history in my late teens, after surviving childhood sexual abuse, mental health institutions and prisons. But I got no kudos for that. Instead, I just got slated. He wanted to make me look like the person I was then and not the person I am today. But that's how the media works in this country. And I fully believe the Irish Freedom Party, who I was running for originally.
Still handing out the newspapers. Niall McConnell, Irish Patriot, first national newspaper around Ireland. If you want to become a member, scroll down underneath YouTube's video and you can become a member of Síl na hÉireann. You can chip in for the flags, newspapers, or the banner, placards, help our peaceful protests around the country. Niall does live streams from all over the
The
country.
government are only going to build 30,000 houses this year, and they're going to invite 120.
Somebody brought, we even have a dog at the peaceful protest. No, we've two dogs. What's their names? Beautiful.
You know, it's 80,000 were on last year, and it's roughly the same number every year. Now, the way you look at that is you want to take the diversity.
Walking around here to show you Dundalk a little bit.
That's 5,000 people.
It's a busy town,
But that still leaves 75.
but unfortunately it's getting invaded by unvetted males coming in, and our services are suffering. Our hospital, there's a waiting list for weeks. Our dental services are suffering. Ireland is full. We just can't cope. Too many unvetted foreign males coming in from countries where there's no wars,
He said that some of the IPAS applicants are actually
and they're getting all the apartments and they're staying in hotels. So that affects our tourism. There's the Garda across the street.
And I don't get an opportunity to have
This is the town square,
like a migrant does.
and it's a nice
That
day.
puts them ahead of us. Plus the fact, while they're tax free, they're also getting the
We've Alan Fagan speaking up here at the top.
They're getting their electric and their hot water. There's nothing that they want for. And before they even come to this country, the NGOs have told them all of their entitlements that they can get off the social welfare. And these are entitlements that Irish people don't even know about. You know, we're entitled to these things too, but we're not told. We don't get any advice as regards how the social welfare system in Ireland works, or how the tax system works. But you go into any barber, vape shop, phone shop, they won't accept your card. They want cash, and cash only, because they can hide that.
And the nail
The
shop.
transaction never happened when you pay cash. You know, and that's what's happening in this country. You see them with car washes. They're working for cash. None of us are allowed to work for cash, or you'd have the tax down, the revenue down on top of you, or the social welfare if anybody was, you know, doing an odd day here and there along with social welfare. But we are being screwed. We're paying for these people, and I think as taxpayers we should have a right to say where our taxes are being spent. Because I don't agree with my taxes going to migrants. Now there's somebody doing 20 months in the prison and jail for saying that. In prison in England for speaking up and saying that they didn't want their taxes going to migrants who were just coming here, and they're immigrants. Give me this, give me that, give me the other. You give them a hotel room, it's not good enough.
No.
You feed them, the food is not good enough.
They're always
You know,
complaining.
they want what people here had to work 30, 40 years to get is their own front door. And there used to be in this country that people could buy a house on one wage. You know, you could work in a local authority, you could work in the HSE, and one wage is all you actually needed to get a mortgage and to pay a house. But then when they brought in equality for women and women's rights and all this crack, the bankers and the tax system in this country were rubbing their hands together, because instead of getting one paycheck paying tax, they had two paychecks. And then when the kids became of age and got work, they could have 3 or 4 taxes coming out of the one house. Now, I'm just sick of paying my taxes and not having a say in how they're spent. When you see the amount of money that our government send abroad every year, they're sending it to diversity, equity and inclusion all over the world, right? Promoting gay and trans movements, right? The alphabet community. Now the alphabet community want us to accept them as they are when they couldn't accept themselves as they were. So that's the problem. It's mental illness. There's 2 genders. God made man and then God made woman. Never since neither God nor man rested, but that's beside the point. But the thing that we need here is numbers. And I know that there's a lot of people afraid to come to these protests. I had to step back myself due to work issues over the past 12 months. But I made a commitment in work that I wouldn't be front and centre of these. But I've sat on my hands for a year, but now it's time to come back out, at risk, at personal risk. Nobody is going to have a whip round at these protests and pay my bills. I still have to get up and go to work in the morning. And at the end of the month, I have diddly squat left after I pay everything. The cost of living has gone up at least 50% in the last 2 years in this country. Inflation. You go to any supermarket now and you look for a pack of steak pieces that used to be £4, it's now €5.50 or €6. That's a 40 to 50% increase just in your local weekly shopping, and that's the reality. So you've got less money than you might have had. You might have had £100 left at the end of the week, but now you don't have 50, and that's just the reality of it. We're working week to week just to pay for migrants to come in here for freebies. The other thing, if you notice as well, they want us to be inclusive and they want integration. When you see the Bangladeshi, Pakistan and Indian people coming here, and these are wealthy people, these are not poor people, they're coming here and they're snapping up houses in new developments, but they're buying up a cul-de-sac. So they are actually segregating themselves from the Irish people. The Irish people are not segregating them. They choose to do that themselves when they buy houses right beside each other and have their little enclaves. And as far as I'm concerned, Islam has no place in a Christian country.
No.
They're not here to take part, they're here to take over. And they should not have any foothold in Irish politics anywhere. Now, I seen Philip Dwyer, he was trying to question the Indian mayor of South Dublin, and he couldn't get his questions answered. He had some other guy telling him to send the questions in an email and trying to elbow him out of the way. Philip is doing great work. We were walking down the street in Drogheda yesterday, and some left wokey decided to pull up and scream racist at a lot of us, and especially Philip. But he couldn't explain. He still couldn't explain how we were racist. It's not, like Tracy said, it's not racist to love your country and to love the people that you grew up with. That's not racist. We're not inherently racist in this country. But when you've got NGOs pushing the needs and the wants and the desires of the fakigees over the indigenous Irish people, that's when we have an issue. And we've an issue mainly with government. But people say don't blame the migrant. I do blame the migrant. The migrants only have to look at what's going on in Ireland and see 16,000 almost homeless, 5,000 of them children, and many children 7 to 10 years of age that have never had a birthday party or a Christmas outside of a hotel room in direct provision. And that's a fucking scandal. Now, since the Ukraine war, the Ukraine war started in 2014. That's when it really started. And Putin only took his revenge in 2022. They needed to answer for the slaughter of 15,000 ethnic Russians in the eastern part of Ukraine. Now, Ukraine is thriving, but what does our government do? They go and build modular houses for Ukrainians and not for our own. There's at least 300,000, at least 300,000 or 400,000 people entered this country since 2022. And if you look at it, the numbers, none of them are on the street with a sleeping bag. So the government have proved time and again to the people of Ireland that they could have solved the housing crisis in Ireland 30 to 40 times over. They won't house our own, but they will house the world. They'll drive our own out. They tell us that we need people in the health profession from overseas. What they won't tell you is 22% of the HSE staff that are foreign born are responsible for 78% of all litigation against the HSE. That's what they don't tell you. Those are the proper stats. They won't tell you that there's 7 people a day dying on trolleys in Ireland, 50 a week, 2,500 a year. That's what's happening in this country. You don't get those figures. You have to dig deep. You know, and I do dig deep. I'd been head down the rabbit hole since 2020. I didn't take the vaccine because I knew it was dangerous. I tried to advise my family against the vaccine, and they took it.
Poison.
Now, I'd like to give a shout out for Wake Up Era. And Wake Up Era have printed 1 million leaflets and distributed them countrywide. And they can't even get an invite at a protest. They were invited now yesterday and today. Obviously, we would have given them a platform. But they're exhausted. They're at been up and down the country for the last 2 weeks trying to bring awareness of the vaccine excess deaths, and the vaccine injured. And nobody wants to talk about it. I want to take the government and beat them with their own stick and take a High Court case against the HSE, NEFID, mainstream media and the government for coercive control of the population from 2020 to 2023. They're all culpable. Everyone is culpable. There's a couple of leftards just gone by there. They just wanted to disturb us, but we don't worry about them because we just hope that they get help for their mental issues. But
they're woke.
Look, it's great to stand here on a lovely sunny day in Dundalk, and it's great to see the people. You don't need a big crowd to make a point. You just need the right people in the crowd to make that point. And I think that's what we're getting. We're getting the cream of the crop. People who want to sit at home, watch the football or go for a few pints, let them. Will football save their country? No. Will we? Hopefully. You know, if we can join together. There's an awful lot of division in the nationalist movement at the moment. You know, there's bad actors and useful idiots in every corner of it. And it's unfortunate. You know, I don't knock anybody. I might have an odd argument with a person, but I'll have a straight argument. You know, I'm not going to go behind their back and talk about them to other people. So that's what's happening. People are coming out and they're disingenuous, because what they're doing is they're defeating what we're trying to achieve. They're trying to block us from getting any traction at all. And Micheál Martin has already said we don't fear the nationalists because they can't unite. And that is the truth of it. We can't unite.
Too much
but
division.
Then again, the left, the liberals, the so-called Democrats, the same American playbook is what we're up against. And they're heavily funded by George Soros. George Soros funds the Red Cross, the UN, the WHO, the WEF. And there's millions of people making money off it because he has billions to dole out. And that's what we're up against. We're up against the Red Cross, who are supposed to be a charitable organisation, but instead they're human traffickers. The WEF just wants to kill half of us off.
The World Economic Forum.
Bill Gates wants to reduce the population.
And he wants to block the sun.
The WHO, they want to force vaccinate us. You know, so this is all on the card. Our government are signing up for all this bullshit. It's crazy. I had issues. I had issues with addiction where I did put needles in myself. But I choose not to do that anymore, and I'm not choosing for the government to force a jab into me either.
It's our
body.
You know,
and this is the reality of where we're at today. They just want to shoot people down. As soon as you have a voice, and it's a dissenting voice as regards the government playbook, they'll try and shut you down. Now, I did a video and I wrote a letter to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance before Micheál Martin got there. And I fully believe it was seen because it was shared by General Mike Flynn, who was Trump's main man in 2016. And it got 50,000 hits in 4 hours. It ended up on 130,000. I know Trump got a look at that.
Up Trump.
And When Micheál Martin was over there, Micheál Martin didn't even know that he was getting ridiculed. He hadn't got the intelligence to realise that Trump and Vance were laughing at him.
Yes.
Actually taking the piss out of him. But then he was there. All I see when I see Micheál Martin talking is a school teacher lecturing a class. And Simon Harris is no different.
They're puppets.
You know, Simon, these are weak men. They're weak men. Weak men cannot lead a strong flock. You need people that are strong,
like
physically strong, mentally strong, and not afraid to tell the truth. You know, the truth will always be out. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they bring up about my past. I couldn't care less. I'm all about the present here now and the future tomorrow. And that's what we need to concentrate on. We're being replaced. It's replacement migration. When you have 80,000 of your own leaving the country and you're bringing in 120 or 130,000.
From the third world.
That demographic has totally changed. So you've lost 80,000 of our young adults to take in 120,000 of their young adults. And let's face it, they're bringing in an army. And I fully believe that these migrant camps, they're not really for them in the long run.
No.
They're for us,
Yep.
the dissenting voices. The voices that gets vilified in the media. We get shut down, we can't share anything. You know, I got the 5,000 followers on TikTok. As soon as I hit that point, and most of my videos were protests up around Coolock and Dublin, they deactivated my account.
Trying to silence
During
us.
COVID, when I was trying to say the vaccine is the virus, I couldn't get into Facebook for 10 months. I was locked out. You know, and that's what they do to us. I advertised this protest and the draw of the protest, and I put them up on TikTok, and they gave me a red flag or a force warning. They didn't get the 500 views. So they're shutting us down. They don't even want people to know that we're having these events. You know, they don't want us getting any traction. And there is a few bad actors in this movement, and we have to find out what their agendas are. I've no agenda. I don't get paid by anyone. I can't be bought, bribed, and it won't be bent, and it definitely won't be broken. And that's the fact of it. And most of you here are in the same boat. I won't take the devil's penny. And I won't take, they can blackmail me, they can try and bribe me, I won't accept it. I am a sovereign Irish man. And that's the way I'm going to stay. So, thanks very much, everybody.
Yeah, very good.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Woo! Okay, folks, I will bring on our next speaker. We have the Mr. John Malloy very soon. He's travelled very far to come here. And I have in my hands 2 bags of sugar, and you're probably thinking, what is she doing with 2 bags of sugar? But just on the note, as Alan's speaking about the vaccines, in honour of my wonderful friend, Mr. Fergus Power, whose birthday it was yesterday, happy birthday,
Happy
Fergus.
birthday.
I'm just going to highlight quickly the Justice for Ava O'Brien campaign. Ava was a 13-year-old little girl. She got the vaccine late September. By October, I think it was just 3 weeks later, she was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. This is a 13-year-old child. 2 months later, around New Year's Eve, Ava had an operation. A little 13-year-old girl. They removed a tumour, bigger, 2.2 kilos of a tumour was removed from that child's abdomen, that child's stomach. Look at this, bigger than this. And that was within 2 months. It's less than 3 months after her taking the vaccine. Now Ava passed by September. She passed, and she didn't make it a year from she actually had that vaccine. Her heartbroken family have an awful lot to deal with. So on behalf of my friend Fergus Power, I ask people to go online and look at Philip Dwyer's interview with her father, John O'Brien. It's a heartbreak that no parent should ever have to face. And that vaccine was a biological weapon. There's an anti-human agenda in operation, folks. And we have to fight against this. Everything means our freedom from globalists, As I told you, 100 years ago, Padraig Pearse wrote about our country being sold out. This government has a lot to answer for.
They're trying to depopulise us.
These power-hungry dogs out of Dáil Éireann, the better. I'd invite Mr. John Malloy. John, you've come all the way from Knock. Is it Knock? John's going to come up and say a few words here.
Hi folks, how are we doing? Well, I was up in Drogheda yesterday and stayed overnight up the road there with my son, and had a great chat with him last night over what's going on in Drogheda and Dundalk. I came all the way from Donegal up near Niall McConnell. Niall McConnell, I have to say, first off, he supplied the flags here today and the Ireland is Full banner. So anybody that be on his channel, you can like him or whatever you want to, subscribe to his channel or whatever. That's not the reason why I'm here today. The reason I'm here today is that we all know at this stage that we're in a dire situation where there are not just illegal migrants coming into this country, there are legal migrants coming into this country as well that we have a serious problem with. Now, we have a solution. And the solution is very simple and very straightforward. And that solution is the people of this country, people like yourselves that are here today. You've took your time to come out here and put your feet on the street and put your voices out. Something that the government have been trying to suppress for this last years. And every day you pick up your phone and you see another bill or another act that they're trying to put through. Not trying to put through, actually to do put through to suppress us. But no, we are not going to take this. We are standing up in every town, in every village, in every county, in this beloved mother era. Let it be Ardee, let it be Dundalk, let it be Drogheda, let it be Knock. The list goes on. Because every one of those towns, there is somebody in that town with a building that's taken the shekel, that's taken the big money that's been offered by the government. And in the meantime, you, me, our kids, there are no homes being built for them. Our kids and my grandkids have no hope and have no future in this country unless the people of this country stand the fuck up and get out on the street and show that we will not be taken down. Now, there are an awful lot of, shall we say, side movements going on in this country. You have the Fianna Fáils, the Fine Gaels, the Sinn Féins all propping each other up to keep money in their pockets and to keep a good lock on their house and a good security system that we the people can't get at. But there are small crews throughout this country, grassroots movements, that every day is gaining momentum after momentum after momentum. And they are the crew, they are the people that are making a difference. And they are the people that the people of this country should follow, because they are the ones that are making a difference. Now, on to our homeless situation. Back 10 years ago, our homeless was 3,789 people that were homeless in this country. There was a figure put out 2 days ago of 16,000. That's 16,000 people homeless in this country.
Irish citizens.
Now, that is just one figure. But there is also the figure of the homeless that are actually not even talked about. The ones that are couch surfing. The boys and girls that are going to college and are living in a car to get to the college to try and further education. And unfortunately, they're in a situation that when they're finished their education, there is no jobs for them here, there is no housings for them here. So what's going to happen? They're going to have to leave, go to Australia, go to New Zealand, go to Germany, and we will then become a minority in our own country. Because at this moment in time, they're bringing in people from Zimbabwe, Somalia, God knows where. And in 10 to 15 years' time, we'll be down to about 48% of the indigenous Irish people. Are we going to take that? No! Why are we not going to take that? Because this is our country. In the meantime, the government have turned around and said, okay, tell you what we're going to do next. The GPO. It's a lovely building, and we're going to actually take it off the Irish people.
In Dublin.
And we're going to make it into a lovely hub, a multicultural hub. They are in their arse. This is not going to happen. Not only that, but they've turned around and said that they are actually going to take the statues off O'Connell Street. And they're turning it into a multicultural zone. In other words, probably a 15-minute city that they're going to do down on Athlone, that they're going to do down in Limerick. This is all the things that they have planned to suppress and put you, every last one of you, down in the gutter, down into the abyss.
To control it.
So, what are we going to do about this? On the 16th of July, it's a midweek. Yes, I know people are working, but we have to save this country. So, over this last month, we've been putting out posters left, right, and centre. We're getting huge publicity with it. Traction is the word I was looking for, with it. And what we're doing is, one, we're going to the GPO for 12 o'clock to show the government that they are not going to take an iconic building that has still got the bullet holes in it from 1916, where our forefathers fought and died for this country and this pavement I'm standing on.
Historical building in Dublin.
So they are not going to take that. So we're going there at 12 o'clock on the 16th in a mass. I'm calling every farmer, every truck driver, every mother, every father, from every part of this country to be there. Show everybody that we care. That the people that are coming out here, Dundalk, Drogheda, that are up in Pleasanton today even, and friends of mine are up there on a camp out to stop the invasion into Pleasanton. And I say to them, if they're listening right now, well done, keep her lit. So, 16th, at the GPO, everybody. I have people there like Tom Moran. Anybody that knows Tom Moran is one of the oldest statesmen in this country.
He's about 80.
He's 80 odd years of age. And there's a young lad up in Dublin as well, an up and coming young lad that was out there a few weeks ago on TikTok and everything, as I made contact with him. People like that, from young to old, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you are anti-government and an Irish person, standing here to save our country. We will be going from the GPO directly to the Dáil. At the Dáil we'll be highlighting the 16,000 people plus that are homeless. We will be doing something that nobody has ever done before. We will be staying there and we will be camping out overnight at the Dáil to highlight that problem, to put out the visual to everybody in this country. And I'm asking people in this country, stop looking at RTE, stop reading Irish Independent, Irish Times and left-wing narrative.
Fake news.
Pure propaganda. Anybody that's out there and that is fighting for this country, and I don't care who they are. And there's a few here today that know me quite well. And we've had our arguments and we had our differences. But that's what it's all about. It's about getting it out there and getting that indifferences away. Getting us together as a unit of people. As an Irish unity of people. Yesterday, up the road here in Drogheda, I asked everybody to do one thing. Now, we've only a small crowd here today, but that doesn't matter. I asked everybody to put their left hand on the right shoulder of the person beside them. The reason I asked that is that you may not know the person beside you, might never seen them before in your life. But this gentleman here, if I put my left hand on his right shoulder, that is showing a connection, that is showing solidarity, that is showing a being together of people to save this country. Simple as that. So folks, please spread the word. Thank you for listening by my hand rings. The 16th of July, the GPO, 12 o'clock. Every man, woman and child, truck driver, tractor driver, farmer, I don't care who you are, be there show that we care. This is not about me. It's not about anybody that would stand up here. This is about you, the people that are out there. We're listening to what you want, and you want a change. And that change is imminent. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, John. We have a few messages, I believe. Jay, you're going to come up and read them. We have a few messages from the public who have sent in. We have to break free of this fear, guys. And the more we talk about it, the more people will know that this isn't a thing about racism, it's about love of our country. Jay's going to come up and say a few words, but this is it. It's fear. Most people don't even know we're living in fear. So Jay's going to hand it, and we'll probably come along with a little Oro Shea de Vahawalia afterwards, and everyone can go and watch the match. And good luck, Armagh. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey everybody. This is just a quick, just one speech I want to write out here from somebody anonymously. A lot of people didn't want to say that, and they didn't think it would be anonymous. So I just one here to read out in particular. This is a young lady who works in the bookies in Dundalk. She says, they come in packs, these men, loud, demanding, entitled, all sharp tongues and hot breath, slamming fists on counters and shouting in broken English when the gamble doesn't go their way. You'd swear I rigged the race myself, the way they look at me, like I owed them a payout out of my own pocket just for existing behind them. Just for existing behind the counter. It's not just a job anymore, it's survival. They spit on the floors, spit at televisions, sometimes they spit at the glass. One individual spat at me once. I saw it coming and ducked. That was the same one who called me a bitch and a whore because I asked for ID before a payout over a certain amount of money. The same one who threatened me to come back with his friends. I didn't flinch, not then anyway. I waited for my break to cry. And the thing is, they're always men, young, angry, all together, no wives, no sisters, no kids, just rage and ego, and they need to lash out at someone. And who better than the woman behind the counter? Management does nothing. They pretend it's just a job, but it's not just a job. It's being screamed at in 10 different languages, being stared at like a piece of meat, being told you're stupid, slutty, useless, all while smiling and scanning slips while they're slowly crumbling behind the glass.
They're coming from third world countries.
I'm not heartless, but I'm tired of being treated like prey. Being treated like, being polite to people who wouldn't blink if I disappeared. Tired of nobody protecting us because we're women and because they have guests of the country. This isn't politics, this is my day to day. This is my life.
It's an invasion.
I'm fucking exhausted. Now that's just one person. I'm sure there's a lot more people that are just afraid to speak out.
Everybody has a story.
We will be honest about these things. You know, we don't want to hurt anyone if they're afraid to speak out. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And like I say, folks, please send forward your statements. We want to talk people. We want people. Don't have to be listening to me all the time, but we want people here. Just even if it's a few sentences. You're worried about your children. You're worried about what's happening in the country. And we have to stop it. We need to be listened to. We demand to be listened to. We will not accept a totalitarian government. And I stood in Newry, and it was unprecedented what happened in Newry on Monday night. We turned up, someone had called, and Newry says no protest, put out a poster. We couldn't find who that person was. I had the little child speaker in the car. I pulled it out, I took it along just in case. A lot of Republicans, real Republicans, and prisoners, actual POWs, prisoners of war, stood there alongside us in Newry on Monday. These people are Republicans. These are people, but they are awake Republicans. They're the real Republicans. They're not these Marxist, revisionist Republicans, the fakes. But we stood there, I stood there with real Republicans, and they're taking a lot of flack for it. But you know, they can see what's happening to our country. They can see, and I'm going to clap those people in Newry because they were so brave. And one woman there, she done 10, 12 years in Armagh Women's
Newry is in County Down.
It's
in Northern Ireland. It's run by England.
People have been suspended from the 1916
They had a
committee.
march
But I am
in
so
their little
thankful
town.
to those ladies and
The
gentlemen
government are
for
trying to
having
make
the
Newry
bravery
a sanctuary
to say, "Hang
town
on, this is not right what's in
for all the
happening in our
illegals."
country. Taking in people is grand, but we have to be able to integrate them. The government are insane. So on that note, I'm going to thank you so much. Talk to people, talk to your friends, tell them not to be scared. Send us in statements to either my Facebook or Jay's Facebook, and we can read out your statements in front of us. And thank you, I'm getting some chocolates. And we will say your words, but we have to break free of this fear, folks. And on that note, I'll let you go and enjoy the Armagh game. We're just going to finish with Oro Shidavahawalya. Oro Shidavahawalya, Oro Shidavahawalya.
Would you like to say a few words?
Hello, Niall. I'm Paddy, living in Dundalk. Coming to join your party for our freedom again and for our constitution rights. We don't want migrants in our country, unvetted, don't know who they are. Don't mind them walking, contributing to society. We don't want them in here. I get rid of the government we have, only scum. I end up the EU, #1, EU. Get out. Give back people, Ireland back to people.
Ireland belongs to the Irish.
Irish people, we're in Ireland. We can't go anywhere.
And what would be the solution?
Get them out. Just get them out. Just deport them like in America. But I agree with Trump. I have to agree with Trump.
Up Trump.
100%. And God bless America.
Yes, Trump's a brilliant leader, strong leader.
We need somebody like him here.
Exactly.
On an aisle. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. What's your name?
Paddy's my name.
Thank you, Paddy. Paddy's from Dundalk, so he's seen it firsthand. You're from Dundalk? Oh, Jamiskin. So why did you come here today?
I just showed support.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Have you seen a change?
A public meeting in a venue
yeah, drastic
within the
over the
next
last
2
2
weeks.
years.
What about Jamiskin?
God bless. Thank you all
Tristan as
so
well,
much.
yeah, a lot of
And
immigration
up
went to Tristan,
Armagh.
yeah, only for a small
How far is Jamiskin from Dundalk?
about 10 minutes.
All right.
Only a 10-minute drive.
Well, you're very good. Thank you for coming out to support.
Thank you very much for getting on here today. Anybody with
Where did you
flags
come
in
from
the
today?
drop them back up
Where?
here.
Is that far from Dundalk?
10 minutes down the road.
So you came to support Dundalk.
Yeah.
So what do you think there's a change?
Appreciate it. Thank
Slightly,
you,
yeah,
folks.
people are
God
waking
bless you all.
up. So it's
Here you go.
just against the government, really. That's
Thank you, John. God bless.
We're in-
Have a brilliant day.
We're in a EU
See you
dictatorship,
more or less, yeah.
and we only have
Must be dictated
puppets
by that, so,
of
yeah.
leaders.
Puppets, really, now, unfortunately.
So you're here for your family, your kids, your future, everything, your grandkids. Thank you so much. You're great.
See you next time, more fella. Good. Well done. See you soon. Don't forget, Newry says no. Did you see the wee box of sweets today?
Yes, very good, nice of you. Very considerate of
Ah,
you.
lovely lot. Come here. Well done. Newry says no. Paddy, come here.
Good friend.
Did you see the wee box of sweets up there? Did you see that? Look.
Hi, how are you?
Friend of Niall, she follows Niall
Do you? She's a Niall supporter.
everywhere. She follows Niall everywhere.
Are you from here?
She's in Armagh.
Yeah, I live in Castleville for 47 years.
Oh, lovely.
And you have a newspaper too?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And
So have you a message for Niall?
tell him, and I'm bloody
He's
sorry,
Donegal.
Monaghan. I know that Monaghan should have beat them.
I know I
Thank me for that.
I had my mum in the t-shirt on me yesterday. So did you?
Hello, how are you? Where did you come from today? Mayo, was it? Dublin, sorry. Thank you for coming down to support the Dundalk people. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming down. Where did you come from today?
Belfast.
Belfast, all the way to support the Dundalk people.
Yep.
Love your shirt. Look, it says James Connolly. Fabulous.
Thank you.
You come from Belfast?
Belfast too.
Very good. And what do you think? Is Belfast the same?
Belfast is.
Is it?
All in solidarity with everybody else because of the way it is. We're all, as the guy says, they're not here to take or what is it? They're here. They're not here to take part. They're here to take over.
They want to invade and conquer and spread their ideology.
Absolutely.
We're Christian and Protestant, and we don't need this made up by.
A lot of people would say James Connolly would like what's going on today when it's not. When the Belgian people tried to come into Ireland, he said no, that's going to change the demographic, and he didn't like it. But Republicans today are saying that he would. Look, he wouldn't. He wouldn't like to see the people being completely the demographic of people.
No,
gone.
No, we're being taken over. We're being invaded.
Invaded
and
is
is
the
Belfast
word.
City like that?
Yeah.
Like about
not as much.
Not as much.
We're not in the EU, as you know.
Yes.
But if we go back in the EU, we'll get iPass centres. They're in our hotels at the moment. There's 2,600 legal ones, and then there's about 5,000, 6,000 illegal ones. And they're all over the place.
And Belfast is actually a beautiful city. And you know, a lot of Americans come to visit to see the Titanic where
Very
it was
much
built.
so.
Whereabouts is that in Belfast, the Titanic?
That's at the docks. They're in East Belfast.
And you used to always get a lot of tourists.
Yeah.
But now there's no hotels for them.
But what they've done is they've essentially built the Titanic where you could see an iconic part of the ship, the hull. And then they came along and they put a load of buildings up in front of it, so now you can't see it. So it's like, where's the thought process?
They're trying to destroy our history.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you some newspapers. This is Niall McConnell. Niall McConnell, it's the first national newspaper in Ireland. Thank you very much. What's your name? Adam. They came up from Belfast. Very good. And this is, what's your name? Brendan. Can you give him a newspaper?
Yes, I've got one.
Oh, you got one, okay. Thank you so much. Niall McConnell's channel. Niall McConnell. You can subscribe. It's Niall McConnell Irish. It's Sheil na Heron. He's on YouTube.
I spoke up yesterday
Just want to come over to see this beautiful flag. Look. It's the Easter Rising here. Is that your flag? It's the Easter Rising, 1916. Look at that. All the names of the people that died for the country. Heroes. They're heroes for Ireland. Lovely flag. Want to say a few words? How do you think it went today?
actually went all right today. I think people they came out. It's probably because of the match. It's probably because
the football,
Sunday. But we'll have to get them during the week.
But we're getting people travelling from.
Are finished talking, fed up talking.
We need to get out action.
They're not listening to us anyway. But come on, lads. You know who you are.
You need to get out.
Simon Harris, you are nothing but
puppets.
You're puppets. You are sellouts, traitors. We know what you do. We know all about your families, and we know all about you.
You're not representing the Irish people.
You are cowards. You're not representing our people. Cowards to the full. Why weren't you here today? Because you're so brave. No, you'll hide behind the burqa. Come out of your burqa. Come from behind the burqa and fucking face us.
Thank you.
Cowards.
My name is Niall McConnell. I'm the leader of Sheil na Heron, Ireland's fastest growing Christian nationalist movement in the whole island of Ireland, and we need you to join our movement now. We are spearheading the campaign against the mass immigration invasion into Ireland. Scroll down below this video, click the link in the description or click the link in the bio to join as a member. You can join from anywhere in the world, Ireland, the UK, Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, no matter where you are from, join as a member now. What do you get if you join as a member? You get this beautiful lapel badge, you get this Who We Are booklet, you get this freeing proclamation, you get the Irish tricolour flag and much more. Scroll down below this video, click the link now, join as a member now. Ireland needs you. Join the fight back. Stop the mass immigration invasion now. God bless you all and God save Ireland.